For 30 years, America adored Jay Leno, the smiling king of late-night television, famous for his big chin and his passion for cars. We thought we knew him, a harmless, cheerful guy obsessed with engines. But beneath that laughter and the gleaming cars, Jay Leno was secretly living a calculated double life. This wasn't some simple hobby. For decades, he balanced the bright studio lights with the grease and grime of a hidden garage, a world few people, not even his closest friends, knew existed. He built an empire in front of our eyes, all while maintaining a shocking secret life of obsession, hard work, and untold sacrifice. This carefully constructed world, where gasoline and steel were his true companions, stood for 30 years. Then one moment, this incredible balancing act almost came crashing down, threatening to reveal everything. For 3 decades, America believed they knew Jay Leno, the smiling late-night host, the king of comedy behind The Tonight Show. Millions watched him every night, seeing a friendly, easygoing guy with a familiar grin. He rose to fame through sharp stand-up routines and many TV appearances. His comedy was always seen as clean, precise, and consistent. He became known as an incredibly hard worker. Leno carefully crafted his image as America's everyday guy. He never chased awards or honors. Instead, he would rather spend time in his garage, surrounded by classic cars. This passion for engines and vehicles was not a secret. It was a big part of his public persona, even leading to his own show, Jay Leno's Garage. He made sure his jokes were never too political, often poking fun at both sides to keep everyone laughing. This avoided alienating any part of his vast audience. Even when challenges arose, he managed expectations and kept a smile ready for the cameras. His life offstage seemed quiet and grounded, perfectly balanced between the stage's laughter and the garage's hum. Even as Jay Leno soared to late-night fame, small cracks began to appear in his carefully crafted image. Crew members would talk in hushed tones about his bizarre schedule. He worked an average of 18 hours every day. Mornings were for endless production meetings and sifting through scripts. Afternoons meant taping the show. But then, when most people were winding down, Jay would hit the Los Angeles club circuit. This wasn't the schedule of a man simply hosting a talk show. Whispers started about his strange habits. Jay Leno slept only 4 hours a night. He woke early and drank cold water instead of coffee. No alcohol, no cigarettes, no sugar. His personal doctor even joked, "He's the only patient I know who never takes a day off." This intense dedication didn't quite fit the image of the laid-back, everyman comedian. His staff also noticed his deep obsession with his garage. It was a place where he hosted small gatherings. He shared tips on restoring old engines. He encouraged young people to learn technical trades there. This wasn't a hobby, it was a second life. He once put it simply himself. By day, I was covered in grease, by night, surrounded by laughter. It was a startling admission. The man America adored on screen had another world, a hidden world, filled with the scent of gasoline and the roar of engines. This was the first hint that the public only saw half the story. But Jay Leno had another secret, even bigger than his hidden garage. It was a fortune he built completely out of the spotlight. For decades, America thought they knew Jay Leno, the smiling host of The Tonight Show. Yet he never spent a single dollar of his huge NBC salary, not one. Instead, he lived entirely off the money he made doing stand-up comedy. This was a man who, even at the peak of his fame, was still working an insane schedule.
He was a relentless touring machine. While The Tonight Show was making him a household name, he was secretly performing over 150 live comedy shows every year. These gigs were not small. Companies paid him $250,000 for just one performance. This constant work, away from the TV cameras, brought in millions of dollars each year. He never stopped. Even after leaving late night, he kept performing hundreds of shows annually, keeping the money flowing. His brilliant money strategy went even further. Jay Leno turned his love for cars into a powerful financial empire. His famous collection of classic and rare vehicles, housed in his giant Burbank garage, was more than a hobby. It was a massive investment, worth well over $100 million. Many of these cars doubled or even tripled in value over time. He also made smart investments in real estate, buying oceanfront mansions and other properties. Jay Leno always followed a simple rule: have 2 ways to make money and only spend from the smaller one. This quiet, disciplined approach, a no-debt, cash-only philosophy, allowed him to build a staggering $450 million net worth, all while everyone focused on his TV job. The smiling face of late-night television was only half the story. America saw Jay Leno every night, but few, not even his closest colleagues, truly grasped the profound extent of his double life. While the cameras rolled and laughter echoed through the studio, another Jay existed in the shadows. He was a man obsessed, not with fame, but with the raw power of fire, steel, and roaring engines. His public persona, the king of comedy, masked a relentless, almost unbelievable schedule. Even after becoming the host of The Tonight Show, Jay continued to perform nearly 150 stand-up shows every single year. This wasn't just a hobby, it was a deeply ingrained routine he believed kept him sharp. He simply called it simple fix cars by day, perform by night. Imagine this. After a long day taping The Tonight Show, a job demanding peak energy and wit, Jay wouldn't unwind with Hollywood parties. Instead, he would rush home, change into work clothes, and disappear into his garage. There, covered in grease, he would toil under the hood of a car, fixing engines well past midnight. While others celebrated their success, Jay found his solace and purpose among vintage machinery. This hidden world, built on discipline and mechanical precision, was completely separate from the glitz of Hollywood. He even hosted quiet garage sessions, teaching young mechanics the kind of hands-on knowledge you could never find in a book. This demanding, dual existence was Jay Leno's secret for decades, a life he balanced with a fierce, almost terrifying resolve. But this meticulous control came at a steep price, slowly eating away at the man behind the smile. Jay Leno's relentless grip on his private life meant his closest relationships often withered under the strain. Old friendships began to break down, as the never-ending schedule and constant need for secrecy left him with no time for anything else. The cameras and the spotlight always came first. Behind the dazzling lights, a different reality was unfolding. Jay faced intense moments of doubt and uncertainty, struggles hidden from the public eye. The applause that once fueled him sometimes felt completely hollow. He was trapped, forced to always wear a smile for the cameras, even when he was struggling deep down. The mental and emotional burden became overwhelming, a heavy weight carried alone.
The demands of fame, the endless media attention, and constant comparisons to other stars started to break him. He once confessed at his own father's memorial, "You know, it really is lonely at the top. You have no idea." This crushing solitude was the hidden sacrifice of his success. His extreme dedication, like taking only 2 days off after his mother's funeral, highlighted a life where work was everything and personal well-being often came last. The gap between his public face and his true self grew wider with each passing year, and something had to give. For decades, Jay Leno masterfully built an image of the cheerful late-night king, a man who lived for laughter and television lights. But maintaining that perfect public face while harboring a deep, hidden obsession for gasoline, steel, and roaring engines became increasingly difficult. The cracks began to show. The relentless pressure of keeping two distinct worlds separate proved unsustainable. It became clear that the gap between the polished celebrity and the grease-stained mechanic was widening, demanding attention. Then came the shocking moments that forced the truth into the open. In November 2022, while deeply immersed in his beloved Big Dog garage, working on a vintage 1907 steam car, a fuel line repair went horribly wrong. Gasoline ignited, engulfing his face in flames. He described it as feeling like the most intense sunburn imaginable. This devastating accident, causing severe burns to his face, chest, hands, and arm, was a public catastrophe that spotlighted his dangerous, hands-on car passion. Just months later, another accident, a motorcycle collision with a low wire, left him with a broken collarbone, cracked ribs, and kneecaps. These weren't minor incidents. They were undeniable, painful revelations that shattered the illusion of a simple life, forcing everyone to reevaluate the man they thought they knew. His private passions violently collided with his public persona, and the secret life roared out into the open. This unveiled legacy forces us to reevaluate everything we thought we knew about Jay Leno. The cheerful, amiable host we welcomed into our homes for decades was living a meticulously crafted double life, a secret kept with astonishing precision. This hidden truth reshapes his place in entertainment history, transforming him from a simple comedic icon into a figure of profound complexity. It reveals the immense pressure and intricate web of deception that can define celebrity, proving that even the most familiar faces can harbor entirely separate realities. His story stands as a stark reminder that public personas are often just that, carefully constructed performances. Jay Leno's true legacy isn't just the laughter he brought, but the incredible, unsettling testament to a man who successfully managed two separate worlds for decades, leaving us to wonder what other truths lie beneath the surface of fame.